Waiting for has happened. Moments ago, Jaxson Dart, ABDUL Carter, John Hardball, all is speaking about this situation that occurred last week involving President Trump. This whole him welcoming in at this rally. Oh my God, the world is finna talk about this. Guys, let's jump right into this thing. So Jaxson Dart held a press conference at practice today after OTAs. The Browns had their not the Browns, excuse me, guys. The Giants had their OTAs today. Now, in this OTA practice, Jaxson Dart and John Harbaugh spoke to the media at the conclusion about this situation. Let's listen to it. It is breaking the damn internet.
Appreciate y'all being here. I understand that there's probably going to be questions that involve off the field topics, and for that, I have a statement, and I hope I can answer as many of those questions that y'all may have. And I ask that can talk about football after that, and I hope that we can understand and respect that from each other. Obviously this was a unique opportunity. Being asked and given the opportunity to introduce the President of the United States. My thinking was pretty simple, in the fact of I've always loved this country. I have extended family members who have fought in wars. I have two uncles who have retired from the Air Force Academy and served themselves. And I even have a great-grandfather who served as Secretary of Treasury at some point. So the president position has always been a position that I've well respected, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of political party. And my intentions were just that. I also understand in this world, politics can be a sensitive matter, a sensitive topic. I also understand that I am the quarterback of the New York Giants, and that involves a lot of responsibility. It's under a limelight, under a microscope, and there's a lot that comes with that, and it's been something that I've embraced. I've loved being here. I've loved the city of New York. I love the city of New Jersey, the people that I've met here. It's just been a really amazing experience, and there's not another place that I'd rather be. Most importantly, the people in this organization, my teammates, the staff, coaches, everybody that has a hand. Jose, you name it. I've loved making relationships with them and growing connections, and that's the kind of person that I am. I'm a connector. I love making relationships with people. I love hearing everybody's stories and being somebody who people can rely on to be there for them. And most importantly, I can honestly say that I love every single one of my brothers, my teammates on this team, regardless of politics, regardless of religious beliefs, regardless of anything that may be different between us. Like, I love them, and they know exactly what kind of person that I am, who comes into the facility every day, and who lays, I lay my body on the line for my guys each and every week. And it's from the connections that we build, the love that we have for each other. And I've been somebody who's always respected, the different perspectives that people may have, the backgrounds that they come from. I understand that, we have such a cool opportunity as people, to be in a locker room where it's a melting pot of people from everywhere, and we get to be together. I think that the connections that we build are special because, we're able to have vulnerable conversations. We're able to learn from each other, to support each other, irrespective of the color of our skin. And, we have a real brotherhood. We've had a lot of honest conversations with each other as a team, and I like to keep those things private between me and my teammates, and just everything that's been said. But I love these guys, and going forward, I can't wait for what more we have to grow. The culture of this team, our brotherhood, and obviously we understand the biggest goal is to be the best team that we can be, to put ourselves in the best position to succeed, to chase a championship, to be the best players for Coach Harbs and all the coaches here. And that's our focus going forward each and every day, and can't wait to continue to do that.
Now I got to give it up to Jaxson Dart, bro, because Jaxson Dart did not have to say this. Whatever you do outside of work should not affect your work. People could do what they want to do as long as it don't affect their job. It's the same thing like people go to work with 9 to 5s every day. But I don't care if it was Obama, Biden, Trump. It don't matter. What he did outside of that should not affect what goes on in the Giants locker room. And it's sad that this young man had to get on here and explain his case for doing something that absolutely had nothing to do with football. Let's listen to John Harbaugh.
Last, there's been some off the field news, certainly. The players talked about it. What's your whole take on all this and how it affects the locker room and decision making and all that stuff?
Sure. Yeah, it's all great, good questions, and it's interesting stuff. And I think it's kind of part of the conversation of life. We're part of that too as a football team, like any workplace. So it was a great opportunity. It was really a good opportunity for us as a football team to have these kind of conversations around a real life incident. It's something that comes up. It's one thing to talk about it in theory. This is how we want to handle this, that, or the other, and we do. But when you have something that happens that's like real, because things are going to happen that are real, you get a chance to talk about them practically. And that was the best part about it. We had a chance to talk to the guys a little bit through the weekend. Then we got in first thing Tuesday because that was our first chance back together. We didn't want to let it sit. The veterans came in and we had a really good conversation with those guys. We went into a team meeting, and really the important thing to understand is that what we are is a collection of all of us together, and so we need to understand really how we want to approach these things going forward. And you don't want to stand up there and just try to dictate some terms, as a coach. You want to find out what the players think, how the coaches and players feel about it, and really mainly the players, because as I told them, it's your team, and what you want the focus to be on and what you want to be about going forward and the way we're going to treat one another going forward. Is it going to be centered around respect and those kind of things? That's really up to you guys as a team. And you guys need to decide, and then let's talk about it and let's decide what we're going to do. And we had a good little meeting. It wasn't real long, but it was to the point. And the players established amongst themselves how they wanted to approach these kind of things. They're part of the dialogue in our society, and they did a great job of it. I was proud of them. I was impressed by them. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And so we're in a good place now, and we're moving forward.
So that was Coach Harbaugh speaking about this entire situation. Very interesting one, but I don't know if this thing is going to end how they think it's going to end, but whatever the case may be, Jaxson Dart spoke his piece. Guys, get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about that. Keep them Bills on, man. Until next time, shake the haters off.